Well, good afternoon, car enthusiasts. I hope you're doing well. It's Brendan, aka Cliff Jumper. Thank you for tuning back into the channel. We're taking another sidetrack from the Corrado project for just a moment because I came upon a rare find in these parts, which, well, let me just back up a second. You may be aware that we have at least one Jetta project. We have my daughter's Jetta. It is a Mk4 1.8 turbo. And it has a gray cloth interior. Now, last year I came across a black leather interior, which I was able to get at the junkyard for a very good deal. And we put that into our silver Mk4 Jetta, which is my son's car. And since then, my daughter has been insanely jealous that he's got black leather and she does not. And today, I came across a full black leather interior, and voila. Now, it is kind of dirty. So it's going to need a little bit of cleaning and TLC and conditioning before we put it into the Jetta, but we're going to kind of go step by step with removing the old interior and putting the new interior in. And of course, as part of this, my daughter, littlest Jedi, is going to be cleaning and conditioning the leather interior for her car. So I think that's pretty reasonable for her to participate in such a way. So she's going to be doing that, and I'm going to be pulling out the old interior, and we'll have a new interior. Well, I mean, new to us, but leather interior, no complaints. That'll go good with Joan Jetta, our Jetta here. All right, so thanks for tuning in, and we're gonna get to this. A little before and after. See all the dirt and junkyard stuff on these, and a little bit of leather conditioner. Really good job of making them look a lot better. So this is all the before, although she has done the front side of this already. So yeah, they clean up pretty good. And the door cards, other than the one that I do need to repair. So they're in good shape, they're just dirty. Alright, so while my daughter is working on conditioning the leather, I'm going to be taking this and fixing it. You see the leather pocket in the middle popped out. So I'm going to take some plastic weld and pop this back in place. Alright, so what I'm doing here is, I'll move this out of the way for just a second and we'll come back to it. I am putting on weldwood contact cement, and I'm just trying to make sure that I get it on the back side of this, not the front side. And this stuff, you let it sit for about 10 minutes, and they get really crazy, gnarly, tacky. When we have put a bead, actually, right after I put the bead on this, we're going to put a bead on the other side, on the insert. Trick is, I want to make sure I get it only on the inside here and not dripping over into the front on the leather, because that'll look terrible. Once it's tacky on both sides, it makes a really firm bond, good enough to hold for a very, very long time. This is the stuff that if you've ever had to replace a convertible top, you use it to fasten the canvas or whatever the fabric is to the metal braces of your convertible top. So again, it's contact cement. Very, very strong once it is cured. And the trick is, I want to make sure that I wipe up any excess before it gets even remotely tacky, so I don't have any of it showing on that other side. So that's on that side. Now I can grab this part and do the same thing. One thing to note about this weldwood stuff, it will congeal even in the bottle. So once there's air exposed to it, you don't have very long with this bottle. So just kind of understand it's kind of like a JB Weld. Limited time. You may as well use it all because you're not going to be able to come back and use more of it later. You're just going to end up having to start fresh with a new bottle.
20 minutes later.
Alright, let's see if we can finagle this. It's been about 10 minutes and glue is tacky. So, we are going to attempt to get these to mate up together. Fair shake first. So I'm going to put this on this surface here, supporting it. So the weight is on this, and this is pressing down around it. And then we are going to start to brace it with all of these different bungees. So I've got a clamp here, I've got a bungee and a bungee holding it with pressure coming up and keeping this pulling upward against the outer rim. I've got more bungee here, more bungee there, and we are going to let it sit and see what happens. So this is just going to sit overnight, and in the meantime too, I brought these in so we could let them condition overnight. Leather that has been dried out will soak up conditioner like crazy. So we got a lot of conditioner in the leather seats. We're letting it sit and soak. We're probably going to put on a little bit more tonight, and then tomorrow before we install them in the car, we'll put even more. Actually, I'll probably wait until I put them in the car, and then we'll put it in again. And so they're going to have a lot of conditioner in them. And my daughter is very, very happy with these seats. She's totally stoked, so this is great. Okay, it is the next day. It's been sitting overnight. Let's take off the clamps in this weird contraption and see if we have success with getting this center section to mate to the outer section. Be kind of ginger with it. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to push just a little bit on it. Oh. Well. That worked better than I thought. I'm going to go ahead and all around here where we have these wonderful slots positioned where the old plastic had been sticking through and securing it, I'm going to go ahead and put JB Quick Weld into all of those and just secure it to the plastic just to be sure. That's going to give me a little added benefit. It's going to be closer to OEM in the repair. We'll end up with little beads like around on this where you can see the plastic is securing this pocket to the outer frame. So we're going to go ahead and do that and use JB Quick Weld. Great. Alright, so I think I've hit it about as much as I can in different spots. We're going to go ahead and let that sit. Hey, while I've got a minute, or 4 to 6 hours, yes, 4 to 6 hours, I was mistaken with the JB Quickset. It does set in 6 to 10 minutes, and it makes a fairly decent bond in 20, but it takes 4 to 6 hours to cure, not 20 minutes. So that's going to be sitting for a while to cure before we get back to it. And while that is doing that, I do have work I can be doing on the rest of the Jetta interior to pull out the old interior, put the new leather interior in, and I thought that I would preview another upcoming project. Now, this is also plastic repair that is very common for Corrado owners. So you may have had to remove your A-pillar trim at some point in time, and you know, you see your A-pillar, and maybe you were refastening the vinyl on it so it's not all peeling off. But this is a really common problem right here. Oh no, the plastic is broken! Yeah, that sucks because this part's not available anymore. So I'm going to use a different approach to this. I have tried the JB Quick Weld in the past with this, and with limited success, and I'm going to take a different approach. There's a tool that I got. It's a plastic welder that inserts a little piece of metal into the plastic as you're welding it together, and that should heal this up really nicely. So the one currently in my car is broken, and it's held together in a very haphazard manner. I found this one, which is broken, but the trim is in decent shape. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this, and then we will install it. Actually, depending on how well the fix on that goes, I may, because you know I'm a carbon fiber whore, I may go ahead and have that wrapped in a 3D glossy, I'm sorry, the 5D, too many D's these days, the 5D glossy carbon fiber wrap, and do that with both of my A-pillars, because I got a ton of carbon fiber in my car, and why not? As long as I'm in there, let's make it look all shiny and special, because I've already got a whole bunch of carbon fiber in there, and you know, carbon fiber, all the things, right? Yes, thought so. One thing you may notice about the new panel is there's like nothing on it. We're missing the door handle and the controls. I did leave this in when I got this from the junkyard, and I managed to convince them to just let me keep it in there because it's such a pain to get off. They just let me slide on it. And then there's a little light that goes in there. There's the light that goes in here for the lock. All of that is, well, it's still on this panel in a few different spots, or I've taken it off, and we just need to transfer those over before we pop on the new panel. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Most of these are fairly easy. Like this is the little light that goes in the bottom of the panel. That's just going to pop in place. Probably the trickiest bit for this is getting the little the edge lined up inside this little mounting edge up here for the window scraper. Now mine partially came out while I was removing it, so I'm going to want to make sure it's all lined up nicely while I'm putting this back. And then this has got to fish through here in the corner. There are a few different things that are going to need to I'll fish around. Wiring harnesses, making sure the connectors are going to the right place so I'm not having to dig for them later. And some of these I will plug in as we're going, but some of them I will wait. So now it is a matter of just pressing that down in place and it snaps. There we go. And then this guy snaps back in place and this is done. So now we can condition this and it should be good. All right, we've got the other doors, door panels and stuff, all this stuff that's got to come out. So we got a little bit of work to do. Gonna remove the cloth interior in order to get the black leather interior in there. And this is going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge of black and gray when we're done, because there's still going to be gray B-pillars and C-pillars and a lot of gray trim, but that's okay. We're going to just deal with that and it'll still look a ton better than it did. We'll probably paint the gray trim pieces underneath the dash there because they come off really easily. We can use black plastic paint to get them the same color and it'll match up in the front there and that'll be fine. We already took out the one seat. She's working on taking out the other bottom. So you flip it forward and then you can squeeze these metal pins towards each other and those lift out. So that's a fairly easy thing. With the other part of the back seat, you need a flathead screwdriver. Go ahead and release the button on here. Pull that forward. And down here, I'm going to need to move that little pin lock like that out of the way. All the way out of the way. You got that? And then that pin will come up. So she's moving the little pin out of the way, and then there's a round locking thing that slides up. I don't know the technical term for it, but I'll do it over here on this side as well after she does that one. Okay, yeah, that's enough. So now you grab the seat from underneath there, put down the tool. There you go, pull it towards yourself. Takes a little wiggling, but it'll come out.
Can't get it out. Got it.
Got it. All right. Go ahead and put that over there. This one is a lot heavier and more of a pain in the butt because it's got a lot of safety stuff in it. Before we take this out, we want to get, there's a latch down here that holds the seat belt in place. So there's a pin. I guess you could do it after we flip this out of the way too. It might be easier and more access with this whole thing out. So we'll flip this forward and grab the camera so I can show people what is happening here. So down here in the corner there is this latch assembly, and you take your screwdriver into the little notch and slide it out of the way, and that will free this pin which holds the seat in place. So then you can pull up the whole thing. All right. Go ahead and lift this side up, and you have to tilt it forward. And it is not easy because it's really... There we go. All right, so that's... Then do this, and now we can see how there's like a metal clip underneath right there. So I'm going to hold up the clip. You go ahead and slide this that way to get it off of the little thing. See there? There you go.
Got it.
Good. Great. Now the super heavy back seat can come out. Let me grab it from this side.
Got it. I'm just going to tilt it over here. Just for you to grab.
All right. All right, front seats. Before you take the front seats out, there are these really annoying little plastic trim pieces. Which, nope, those are the floor mats. Right here, get my leg out of the way, little plastic circle covers a screw that holds this trim piece in place, and that trim piece keeps the seat from coming out. There's one on both sides. I have never successfully found a good way to get that little trim piece out without mangling it, so we're just going to mangle it because I don't care, but I'm going to use a knife blade to pop that trim cap out, hopefully without mangling it too bad. Alright, so let's see if we can get that out without destroying too much. I'm sure somewhere there's some factory tool that does this better than I just did, but it came out without too much mangling, so I'll live with that. Same thing on the other side, and there's 4 of them. They need to come out before you can slide the seats out. Alright, once you have that screw cap out of the way, then just a Phillips head screwdriver to remove that, and these will lift and slide out of the way without breaking. So that's both sides, same thing. Alright, great. Now we can move to the front of the seat and unbolt it. Alright, we'll go ahead and slide the seats back most of the way at this point, so we can get access to the bolts that hold it in place up front here. There's a couple of 13mm bolts hidden underneath the front. And right down there. So we're going to go undo those 2, and we might have to squeeze a little center thingy to get it out, and that should be it. And it would not be a Volkswagen if I didn't find a McDonald's French fry underneath the seat. Yay! Alright, so achievement unlocked there. And we're going to go ahead and vacuum out this interior now and get it all ready for the new stuff to come in. We still have to take out the door cards. We'll do that in a few minutes. Alright, that's already looking a lot better. Got most of the crap out of there. Still got to hit the back seat there, but this is going to be driven by a teenager, so I'm not concerned about Concours d'Elegance kind of levels of detailing here. We're just getting it clean. This is going to be one of the mismatched pieces of the interior. You got this nice gray factory armrest, which of course has the typical broken lid. I am not going to replace the bottom part of it, so the ratcheting mechanism still works perfectly, but I am going to take it out and paint it black, and I'm going to replace the lid with a black leather lid. This center console, let me see if I can reach the camera to show you. This center console is going to get replaced with the newer style that has cup holders in it. I found one of those at the junkyard, so I'm going to pull that out. So we'll have a black. I've got the black leather cover for this as well, and then we'll paint the parts up front that are black. So we'll have still gray cloth, carpet, and a lot of gray interior pieces, but some of the central pieces will be black and it'll match and it'll look nice. Okay, to remove the center console, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull on this. That pops right out, and we have a 13mm bolt here that's gonna have to come out. And yeah, there's a couple other things, just a screw cap. That this one should come out fairly easily. They are renowned for just falling out and disappearing. One on the other side as well. You should be able to just get that out with your thumbnail. And back here, we've got this very interesting rear cup holder set up that, you know, honestly, it's not the worst design in the world, so I may just leave it. We'll see. No, actually, it's one in being with this, so I got to replace it with the newer style cup holder that goes back there. Anyway, yeah, we'll deal with that. Actually, while we're at this point right now is a good time for us to remove these panels and paint them as well. I'm going to take these out and the glove box and paint them, and just so you know, more stuff matches than doesn't. I'm still going to have gray trim running all along underneath, and B-pillars and the roof and all that, but little bits of black, at least the front will match, and I think that'll be a better overall look. You know, what have you. Alright, here's our little impromptu paint station for the gray interior panels that we are making black. You can see I've already hit the center armrest thing with one level, and look, it's scratched up, it's already messy looking. It's not going to look fantastic when it's done, but it'll at least match. So I'm just using Krylon flat finish paint plastic. Rust-Oleum, sorry, not Krylon, whatever. It's essentially the same stuff. And again, this is not probably ideal, but painting outside in a light wind. Alright, we're ready to put our center console back on here. I've already removed the gray plastic e-brake handle, and I put the black leather one in place. By the way, if you need to do this, it is a real pain in the butt. Underneath here, you have to stick a long skinny screwdriver, kind of like this, up inside and press down that way on a little clip that's right about here, in order to get the old one to release. They snap into place, super hard to get off, just about impossible if you've got the console in place. A lot of people will unbolt the e-brake and lift it out of the way just to do that. It's not necessary to do that, but it definitely makes it easier. Now the silver button on the end of the e-brake handle comes off notoriously easily on these cars, and it's easy to lose them again. So what I'm going to just do is put a little bit of black silicone on here to secure it. It'll still be easy enough to pull off again if I need to remove it at some point for adjustment or whatever, but Alright, let's deal with the rear door cards. If you've never taken one off, just know these are super brittle. There's gonna be stuff that breaks just because they're old. That's just part of the deal. You're gonna wanna just stick a long-handled flathead screwdriver underneath here to pry it out and work it on up. And it will open up these little clips that are inside that hold it all in place. And like I said, some stuff is it's just gonna break because it's old and brittle. It's been baking in the sun all these years, exposed to heat cycles. It's done. So don't have too high of expectations. Yeah, like these little clips, they pop right off. And anyway, this one came off with miraculously little breakage. It did break right there, and that's where it plugs in here. You don't have to worry about it. It's gonna be fine. So then we're gonna remove these little screws right here. Oops, wrong way. As I totally destroyed that. There's one here, and there's another one. Yeah, there's another one up in the top here. Let me get out of the way here. Nope, there's no way for me to get out of the way. Sorry. It's just gonna be a thing. All right. So the little screws are out, and then there are two big Phillips head screws that are deep inside. The little ones just hold the plastic handle to the door card. The big ones hold the whole door card to the door. And then at the bottom of the door card, there are a couple of Torx screws. Right there and there. And just like the front door card, we're going to transfer this part over to the new door card that I'm putting on. So when it's all said and done, I like the black on gray contrast that we got with this. I feel like it definitely makes the whole vehicle look a lot better, at least on the inside, which is where we're going to spend most of our time. And my daughter is thrilled with it, so mission accomplished. Hey, make sure you hit like, subscribe, maybe even share if you're like really bored and you have people who are very bored and have some time to kill, because I realized this was not a very complex video. Anyway, we'll be back with more Corrado mayhem and stuff with the R32, the Fiat Spider, the Sequoia, and yeah, there's definitely more stuff to do on this Jetta project. So tune in next time. We will see you again soon. God bless you, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.